I will start with an overview of the layout. This is the top level goods yard or storage yard, whatever you want to call it. The track from this leads down, if I can manage, through the station and joins up onto the continuous line at the far end. Round the back there is in the distance a farmyard, and you can see the shuttle train, which is just sitting at the moment, which goes from the main station round to the station at the side. In the middle you can see the control panel. To show you the problems that I have with access on this layout, I will take this train once round the continuous run. Then it comes out to this bit here. It's basically a return loop it's on at the moment, and it is on the third layer of the 4 layers in this part of the layout. It will come round here and out and back into the station. Passing the train in the shuttle loop at the moment, and I'll show you this later on. Take it round. It is now descending to the second layer, and it will begin back under again into the tunnels. Now under the second layer, which is under the goods yard. Out here, oh God, take that at this, and now again descending right down to the bottom layer, disappearing under the tunnel again, under the eastern edge of the layout. You can follow it by the sound, but you cannot see it at this stage of the game. And it will begin right under the village, underneath the branch station, and in this gap here you will see it coming out and round there. It is now on the bottom layer, going underneath and will appear shortly on the bottom layer here. On to the loop, where the loop is in fact the programming track. So I can run trains in and out of the programming track without any bother. Now going away under this eastern end again, and out, climbing up to the second layer again, going underneath, it is appearing, climbing up onto the third layer where the station is, and it will come round again not very steady hand at times, I'm afraid. And the that is back into the station. I will stop that just at this stage. The whole of the side of this part of the layout comes away, and that's it lying on the floor. The construction is wooden formers, chicken netting and plaster bandage on top of that, which is then painted. The next removable sections are 3 here that you can see the joins between them easily enough, and they allow me access to the track under this part. And now you can see it with these parts removed. The track and the wiring, not the tidiest of wiring I must admit at times. These are constructed from layers of Recticel and expanded polystyrene. Polystyrene collected from various packages. The Recticel is bought from a builder's merchant. Underneath this part of the layout are 8 hidden sidings, 2 removable parts, which I will now remove. And as you can see, removing these 2 bits allows me access to my hidden sidings and to the wiring, really for the lighting and the village behind. They are just made from sheets of plywood cut to the right size and card walling installed on the front of them. The final removable section is the bit you're looking at with the trees on top of it. And as you can see, this allows me access to a lot of the track underneath the goods yard. Take the train round the layout with all these bits off. You'll get a better idea of what's involved. Still on the 3rd layer, just come out the station, going downhill to the 2nd layer. Where you can see it, and I have access to it if it derails or anything. Still coming out again from the 2nd layer and going down towards the 1st level. Again, it disappears into the tunnel. But now you can see it underneath as it travels right round under the past the hidden sidings where I have access as required, disappearing under there. climbing up towards the second level. Where I have access as necessary. The whole circuit at that speed takes nearly 4 minutes. I think it was about 3 minutes 50 seconds or so. And there we are, back up to the station. Through the station, it now disappears into the tunnel. It will appear again shortly, and then can be seen near the hidden underneath the top layer, round there and back into the station. This is to show my shuttle. Started off when, at the last Model Rail Scotland exhibition, I bought a decoder that had a shuttle built into it, for DCC obviously. I then fitted it to this same locomotive and it worked beautifully. The only thing missing was sound. And then the end of last year I realised that the new ASU Lock Sound 5 decoder also had shuttle capability built into it. I then fitted it to this loco and it now works perfectly with the sound. Which I must admit, when I'm working on other things at my workbench, just to have that running in the background, I find very satisfying. This is just to show how the signal operates when it comes in. It comes in to the bay platform, crosses an LDR totty, and the signal at the platform end goes to green. It will then sit there for its allotted time, and the time is adjustable. At the moment it's set at about 20 seconds. I can make it anything from 5 seconds up to a minute and a half, 2 minutes even. And there it goes again. My aim eventually is to use the other bay platform and alternate the trains running out, but I haven't worked out how to do that yet. The access to the bay platform, and both bay platforms, is from the points that they're just showing now. And by switching them, obviously they're isolating points, so I can isolate either of the bay platforms. As it's doing this, it retains its memory. That is the power off at the moment. If I put the power back on by switching the point again, it will then start up. In theory. And it's this that gives me the idea for alternating both bay platforms. Still haven't quite worked out how to do it all and automate it, but we'll get there eventually. At this end, the control is exactly the same. The train comes in, there's an LDR torte just almost at the end of it, and when the train hits it, the light goes to green. It then waits in its delay and will go off just shortly. What it relies on is asymmetric braking control, which is ABC. Each end has a brake in the rail, in the left-hand rail, so that when the train goes over it, the detector, the decoder, detects a difference in the voltage on the ABC section and triggers the braking response. The braking distance can be adjusted, of course. The difference in voltage is supplied by passing the current in the one rail through this matrix, which is a diode matrix. This reduces the voltage from round about 14 on the DCC down to usually around about 12.8, 12.9, and this is enough to trigger. There's one there and there's one there for the other end of the layout. At this point I'll just show you a brief shot of the farmyard in one corner of the layout. This can be removed if necessary, and I'll show you more of it later. The layout is of course DCC, as you probably realise, and this is the control panel for it. At the top of it there are 8 hidden sidings, one of which is in fact a through road. The green lights are fed from TOTI 4s to show when each line is occupied, and the red lights are to show the end of the line, so that if I run a train in slowly, when the red light comes on and I know to stop it. And these are from Hector infrared detectors. All the points are switchable from this board, and there are train detectors on the whole of the continuous track. This is a quick shot of the wiring within the control panel, and as you can see there are various EZ bus modules in here. The ones with the lights on are the output modules. The ones without lights are the input modules. They're all labelled so I know what I'm doing, I think. The wiring looks complicated, but again it is to some extent colour coded, so I know roughly. It's easy enough to trace each wire anyway at this stage. The actual C-bus line is, if I go right down into the corner here, that green and white twisted wire, and that is what takes all the C-bus signals round the whole circuit to all the other modules. The EasyBus command module is plugged in just to the right of the control panel, and if I switch this point, you will see it shows module 2 pin 1, which is that point that I have just switched. It is in fact that point there, and if I switch it the other way, you can see the movement and hear it clicking into position. At the same time as switching the point, the light indicators switch over as well. I will try and show on this. Right, it will tell me how many modules I have, and at the moment it's showing that I have 5 input modules and 9 output modules. Having the command module plugged in at this point in the layout, I can adjust all the points as necessary at this end of the hidden sidings and all the points on the top storage yard. To adjust points at this end of the layout, I can plug in at this point. To adjust all the points at this end of the layout, they're all hidden at the moment of course, I plug in at this point. So I have 3 points where I can plug in the control module. The lights in the station are also controlled through EasyBus. If I can throw the switch, you should see the lights going out. There we are. Throw the switch again and the lights come back on. The same also applies to the yard. The lights go out and they switch on again. These are controlled using an input module to an output module underneath, which using the digital output to control a relay, which then switches the lights on and off. All of course carefully labelled. The in and out refers to another relay controlled through EasyBus, which alters the voltage. You can see from the diagram here that there is a continuous run, and off it is coming the branch into the station and also for the shuttle. It also supplies the upper goods yard. This is controlled from the in and out switch, which alters the polarity of all the rails in the branch. This is necessary, otherwise if I drive a train in off the continuous line and then try and drive it out again, I'll get a short circuit because of the polarity being the opposite ways on the adjacent tracks on the continuous run. It sounds complicated, but it's not really. This is a view underneath one part of the layout where it shows the output module supplying 8 servos, and on that part of the layout you can see the lights from the Totti 4s which supply the hidden sidings. Underneath my layout is the control for the lens DCC system. This is rated a maximum of 4.6 amps, so there is no problem if I want to run 4 or 5 locos at one time, there is no problem doing that. And in behind is my power supply for all the different 5 volts dual supply for the totties, 12 volts and 15 volts AC. Underneath we have an output module supplying 8 servos again for the points, and we also have Hector 2s which are supplied through the switch module here to the control panel for the red lights. The continuous run is split into 7 blocks, and this is all controlled through ABC braking with sensor signals. To finish off, you don't see her here, but you will see her in a minute.